Chapter-4. The spiritual aspirant, the first moment of bliss, and its continuous growth. The ever-awaited first moment was the moment when I was convinced that I was not an individual at all. The idea of my individuality in the maintenance of the body had been burning, like in a fire. The scalding pain was beyond my capacity to endure. But there is not even a trace of it now, for I am no more an individual. There is nothing to limit my being now. With the disappearance of the ignorant signs of individuality and the accompanying defects, the ideas of acquisition and renunciation have automatically dropped off. The ever-present anxiety and gloom of the smoldering heart have vanished, and I am all beauty, pure knowledge, and pure consciousness. The tumor-like innumerable desires and passions were simply unbearable. But fortunately, I got hold of the divine hymn, Jai Guru, and on its constant recitation, all the tumor-like passions withered away through grace. With the first sigh of relief, I am ever free now. I am all bliss, without any spite or fear. This beatific conscious form of mine knows no bounds. I am that. There is no being the narrow conceptions of I and mine, for they have withered and left. I belong to all, and every one is mine. The all are but within my own individuations, and together make up my beatific being. There is nothing like good or bad, profit or loss, high or low, mine or not mine, any longer. For this reason, there is infinite growth. Whatever the form or situation I may be in, or whatever I am doing, I ever remain in the beauty of that I am. My once suffocating narrow activity is unbound now. I am the great active force, the one in all. The actions of all are my own actions. The names of all are but my epithets. Whatever I say of myself, that I am. Nobody opposes me, and I oppose none, for there is none other than myself in which to oppose. Bliss reclines on the bed of bliss. The repose itself has turned into bliss. There is nothing that I ought or ought not to do, but my activity goes on everywhere, every moment. Words like freedom and salvation have no meaning. Love and anger are divided equally among all, as are work and recreation. My characteristics of immensity and majesty, my pure energy, and my all have attained to the golden core and repose in bliss as the atom of atoms. Thither shines forth my pure consciousness in its majestic splendor as primordial energy. Thanks to the spell of the Guru, of Jai Guru, the consciousness brought into experience by the whimper of the term life has crossed the bounds of human reach and has come into its own as the absolute being. Why and how the consciousness became self-conscious and active is obvious now. The experience of the world is no more than that of the world as such, but is the blossoming forth of the self-same conscious principle, God. And what is that? It is the pure primal knowledge, the conscious form, the primordial I consciousness that is capable of assuming any form it desires. It is the core consciousness that has all the experiences and is empirically known as God. The present experience of the world as the divine expression is not for any profit nor for loss. It is the pure, simple, natural flow of beatific consciousness. It has neither sex, distractions, nor of God and his devotee, nor of Brahman and Maya. It is the unique blissful experience of the primal unity. The now as a unitive trinity of knower, knowledge, and the known, of the Supreme Being, is blossoming forth in its majesty. Every object in the universe has now lost its objectivity and residual soul. Bliss enjoys its own supremacy. He that once meditated on the bliss and peace is himself the ocean of peace and bliss now. Glory to the eternal truth, Sadguru, the Supreme Self. Devotee and the blessings of God. The Bhakta pours out his devotion, molds his behavior in every respect in accordance with the will of God. In turn, the Bhakta finds that God is pleased with him, and his conviction takes him nearer to God, and his love and friendship with the Lord grows richer and richer. The process of surrendering to the will of God in every respect results in his blessings. The heart of one whom God is pleased with is full to the brim with grace and is seen in every grain of his being. The sadhus and pundits, artists and rich persons think and say they are blessed by God, but their behavior and activities, feelings and looks do not confirm their conviction. And what they say be true, then why all the dissatisfaction that peeps through their movements? One can understand its presence in the lives of ordinary mortals. It is quite natural. But why should it be seen in those who profess themselves to be true spiritual aspirants? We must hence thoroughly investigate into the nature of the divine blessing, the ever-present grace. One who is blessed by God is a blissful soul. All the promptings and experiences activated by this bliss must of necessity be equally blissful. The blessed soul is bliss incarnate. It is immaterial whether the adjuncts are pleasing or not. Eternal blissfulness is its core. Prior to this grace, the bhakta had to rely on the means for his well-being. But after the event, the situation does not remain the same. And the event is the spiritual awakening, wherein one becomes at peace with himself and looks at the objects of enjoyment with perfect indifference. He is content with whatever he has and is happy to see others in happiness. If a person believes that he is blessed by God and is still unhappy, it is better that he give up this delusion and strive to purify and receive grace with sincerity and honesty. Divine plenitude and favor does not happen through pleasure of the numerous objects of the senses, but by internal contentment. This is the blessing of God.